everybody. Welcome in, welcome back. Um, Today's video is just going to be a little trampoline session with a voiceover. This is all I ended up doing this week, or as much as I end up getting on camera. Turns out I am sick. I was right. It's turned into a full-blown cold, so I didn't really feel up to doing too much on camera last week. But alas, here we are. Um, Apologies if this microphone isn't the best quality. Ain't no studio production up in here. Just a headset mic. But I was thinking about playing around with the idea of like putting music in the background of the video, but I think that's more something that I'm gonna do next time because I don't think I'll be able to find music that's just 8 minutes long, and I don't really want to have to worry about finding like different songs that like match the same vibe and whatever, and having to transition between them. Anyway, kind of just a little bit lazy this week, but I did talk about like last week building some healthier habits. So a big focus this week was on just getting a few cardio sessions in. Good for the brain, essentially. I'm gonna aim for two, maybe three this week, depending on the weather. So, I mean, the trampoline is a really good way of doing it because it's engaging and it keeps my mind busy. Um, but the weather's getting colder, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to tolerate that outside. This morning it's like 40 degrees, and I want to get a session in today, but I'm not sure how much warmer it's going to get outside. So I'm still going to try. I mean, I'm not going to be out there for hours and hours on end. Just going to try to do like 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe at the max to just get my body moving and staying consistent with some sort of activity. So what other stuff have I been up to this week? Well, I finished my other little sketchbook, so I'm now starting the big one. I have it right here in my hands. And I've kind of had this trend of starting every sketchbook with like the number of the sketchbook and kind of just doing a little, uh, just a number on the first page. So I put a 7 on the first one, just like all glowy and yellow and blue, and that was fun. It was a good, relaxing little time, kind of just testing out how much the paper can handle. Did some watercolor, did some paint on it. It's a little bit buckly, but it's not too bad. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I think going forward, I'm not gonna like paint the entire page, so it's not gonna make everything too wrinkly. Um, I'll just do like I want to do more like full finished pieces. Um, but granted, most of them probably won't take up the whole page. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably show you some of the stuff that ends up happening in here. But that was exciting. This sketchbook is supposed to be better for markers because my other one would just bleed straight through. And hopefully this one will also be better with like my paint markers too. But we'll see. I am expecting more, but I don't want to get my hopes up too much in the case that I end up, you know, disappointing myself essentially. Halloween is coming up. It's coming up on Thursday. I bought this year. I bought a Gohan costume because I wanted something a little bit new. Last few years I've had a Spider-Man costume, but it's getting old, starting to rip, and I'm kind of getting sick of it to be honest because it's kind of a pain to get on and off. But that's what I'm doing this year. I mean, some of the kids know what it is, some of the kids don't. Um, but I still think it's fun either way. I'm not really going to any Halloween parties, I don't think, this year, but still fun to have a costume that way. In the following years, if I do end up doing stuff, I got options. So in other nerdy news, there's a new Pokemon card set that's gonna be coming out like the first week of November. It's called Surging Sparks. Pikachu's kind of the main mascot of the set. But yeah, I'm kind of excited, kind of hyped for it. Some of the more artsy cards are looking a little better than some of the previous sets in the Scarlet and Violet era. So I'm excited for that. Gonna try to hold back, not spend too much money, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's another thing I'm just looking forward to. I don't really play the card game that much. I just like collecting the cards. Who knows why, but it's kind of just a passing hobby. It's not something that is performative like parkour is, or something that requires a lot of creativity like doing art. Um, and something that I can kind of just engage with and not have too much pressure. So that's pretty cool. Um, I think a lot of the time I can get wrapped up in the I'm the parkour guy type mentality of like, this is my whole entire identity. And then when it's not going well, I'm like, oh, my entire life is falling apart. But that's not the case. It's just, it's good to have multiple interests, I think. You want to be a well-rounded person instead of kind of putting all your marbles in one bucket, I guess. Um, is that a saying? Who knows? I just made it up. Anyway, that's just the way my mind works. I also started reading more comics, so this has been fun. A couple years ago, I was reading Injustice Ground Zero, so I picked that back up. I stopped like halfway through, and then I just finished it like this week. Um, it was okay. It was hard to get back into, given that I took like a multi-year break from it. Um, but it was pretty good. I liked how it ended. Um, and I know in the DC universe, there's like Injustice is a very big like crossover type event, and there's lots of moving parts to it. Because I played the video games, but I've engaged with the like storyline in multiple different ways over a long period of time, so it's hard to get a big cohesive idea of what's happening. But who knows? Maybe that's just my sick brain also just like messing with me. But I started reading Invincible, so that's pretty cool. Um, I know there's the animated series, and I watched that a couple years ago. I don't know if there's more seasons out now or anything, but I'm just starting to get to the point where the storyline's starting to pick up, and it's getting into like the big main overall plot of the story. So that's pretty cool. Well, now on to the big scary topic. My goal this year has been to build a parkour community around where I live because there really isn't one. I've been talking to Bryce Clark. He is a parkour coach and athlete from New York. Some of you might have known him. Big guy in the community, really awesome person. Met him a few times. But he kind of gave me some pointers on kind of how to start a community, how to begin building one, and that's kind of going to be my overarching goal for the year. I have a place to start. Hopefully, by the time the next video comes out, I'll have more information for you. But I want to start an Instagram page, and I'll put that in the description of the probably next week's video once I get the ball rolling. I want to like add more parkour stuff to my gym, like build wise, and like make real solid obstacles, both for students and for a little bit for me personally. But that way we can have a more representative like portrayal of what parkour actually is instead of just like soft mats and blocks and foam pits all the time, because that's not really what parkour is, even though that's kind of where I started. But yeah, that's the big idea, the big goal for the year. Um, I'm gonna leave you guys off here. I'll see you next week. Peace out. Have a good one.